Hello and welcome back to our series of bite-sized videos on boosting your productivity. We can't talk about productivity at work without talking about meetings. Meetings can have a really negative effect on our productivity, not only because they fill so much of our day often that we don't get time to do the things we want to do, but also because meetings themselves can be hugely unproductive. The first thing we want to talk about is the importance of sharing an agenda in advance. And not just an agenda, but all of the relevant background reading, information and context that means that when you get people together in a room or virtually, you can get straight into discussing how to move things forward. If you are sat in a meeting and an idea or a question is thrown at you or the group without time to consider it, it's very unlikely you're going to be able to do your best thinking or that you'll get the best of the group's intelligence. Instead, time will be wasted knocking an idea around, going back and forth, and not really making progress. If you want to get people together to discuss an idea or a question or a problem, give them that information in advance so when they come to the meeting, you can start straight away with, right, what's everyone thinking? How do we move forward on this issue? And not waste time thinking whilst you're all there together. The second point is to consider who attends each meeting. It's really easy to set up a recurring invite for the whole team every week or every month to discuss everything that's going on around a particular theme or project. But maybe that's not relevant. Maybe this week not everyone is needed. Maybe some people could recount the summary of the meeting to others so they don't all have to attend. When you think that 8 people attending a 1-hour meeting is the same as a full day of somebody's work, it quickly becomes apparent that so much time is lost in potential productivity across a team by people sitting in meetings they just don't need to be in. And I'm sure this is something we've all experienced, that question of, why am I here? Couldn't I have just read the minutes afterwards? So while we do need to include people and keep them up to date, it doesn't always have to be the case that everyone attends every meeting. Thirdly, and most importantly, I think, it's really important we have clear actions. I'm sure we've all sat in lots of meetings where we discuss things at length to the point where we get fatigued or frustrated with each other, and then we leave without any clear decision being made. And then when we next sit down to discuss the same issue, we're exactly where we were. A huge waste of time and productivity. So next time you're in a meeting and something is being discussed, make sure that at the end of that discussion, there is a clear action. This is what we're doing about that. This is who's doing it. This is when it's going to be done by. Without these clear actions, we get that all too familiar drift of talking around the problem without really addressing what's going to happen. You've invested that time discussing something, make sure that investment pays off by having clear actions at the end of it. And then finally, think about the time you're allocating. Again, it's easy to schedule 30 minutes or 60 minutes because that's what our calendars default to. But maybe this only needs 15 minutes. Maybe it could be a walking meeting or a standing meeting, or you could do it in a different place. Not every meeting has to be 30 or 60 minutes in a meeting room together. And indeed, if you find you've reached the end of what you need to discuss after 40 minutes, end the meeting there. Give that gift of time back. It's too easy for work to fill the time that we allocate to it. An hour meeting becomes an hour meeting because that's how long we expect to be there. But we don't have to be beholden to our calendars in this way. So there are 4 really simple techniques to make meetings a more productive use of time. Thinking about attendees can immediately cut the number of meetings in our diary, and then the ones we are attending need to be well considered, productive, and with clear actions at the end of them. Hopefully, with these tips, your own calendar might lighten up a little bit, and those meetings you do have will be valuable investments of time and not just time wasted discussing something with no output. We hope you found this useful and that your teams find it useful as well, and we'll continue to share more tips as the week goes on. Thank you.